We don't frequently take time to recognize those in our early music community who make large contributions. The fact is that all of us have to work hard in order to reap the benefits of the music we enjoy. We spend many hours researching, practicing, rehearsing, and concertizing, but all mostly within the confines of a small community of enthusiasts. I've been here for almost 20 years living and teaching in the Atlanta area, and I have seen quite the evolution in the early music scene. This is mostly seen in the world of amateur music making. Now, before I go on, let me qualify that the amateur scene is unlike most places. We have amateur groups such as Lauda Musicam that perform a rigorous concert series each year, pulling in a large audience of devoted supporters. We didn't get to this point either by accident or through the work of a small group of people. Rather, we all learned to pitch in and do what is needed to improve our own experiences. Barbara Stark and David Lawrence have not only put in their share of hours and effort, but they have taken the reins to guide others through more enjoyable music making experiences. Barbara and David were sort of on the fringe when I first learned of them. When they showed up at an Atlanta Recorder Society concert day with Barbara's mom to perform trios, I thought, well, where have they been hiding? This happened a few more times, and finally one day they showed up at a Lauda Musicam playing session. Once in Lauda, the brass section grew from one to several, though. This was entirely due to their leadership and the encouragement Barbara and David provided. And then they spent the subsequent years recruiting and improving the brass and reed sections in the group. As a result, we were able to produce a concert highlighting brass players. This has to be one of our most memorable concerts. The Atlanta Recorder Society has also depended on their leadership and guidance over the past few years. Not only did they give recorder players a monthly outlet, but they also worked to improve the musical skills required for Renaissance and Baroque music. They kept the act of music making fun for countless people while continuing the tradition of Concert Day to bring the Atlanta early music community together. Their contributions continued with their work with the Atlanta Early Music Alliance. This organization has been around since the mid-90s, and the original mission was to bring pre-classical music to a larger audience. Many of us performers are grateful for the work that Barbara and David did to perpetuate and support us, as Atlanta gave this support to professional musicians and performing ensembles in the area. There's also the newsletter, which continues to educate its members and support early music events throughout our area. Barbara and David have indeed done some outstanding work while they were in Atlanta. We're sad to lose them, but we know they must be excited to join their daughter and her family in Austin, Texas. Austin's a city rich in culture, supportive of the arts, and full of energetic folks who will undoubtedly benefit from their leadership. Within a short amount of time, I'm certain they will have begun to make a strong impact on the early music community there. Their move may be unfortunate for us, but Austin is ready for whatever they have to offer them. I am personally honored to have worked with both Barbara and David as organizers, administrators, planners, and musicians. David and Barbara, the Atlanta Early Music Alliance, Atlanta Recorder Society, and Lauda Musicam of Atlanta have teamed up to present you with this plaque to remind you permanently how you have forever impacted our world. The inscription reads, "With your devotion, hard work, and vision for the early music community, you promoted and enriched that which holds us together. You left Atlanta better than you found it, making a positive impact on those who have worked with you and on those who have yet to know your influence." The early music community in the Atlanta area recognized David Lawrence and Barbara Stark for years of service as leaders and innovators within Lauda Musicam of Atlanta, Atlanta Early Music Alliance, and Atlanta Recorder Society, presented June 8, 2020. Barbara and David, enjoy the next phase of your life, and we all hope you experience the same success in Austin that you have created for us here in Atlanta.
David, in no time at all, you mastered the cornetto. Not just one, but several cornetti. This gray-bearded doofus still struggles to sound okay on a simple sackbut, but could never get the cornetto to play a single note. You make it look and sound so easy. We love and appreciate your musical skill, dedication, and generosity. Wishing you all the best. Barbara, oh Barbara, thank you so much for 1, rescuing, and 2, building up a brass presence in Lauda Musicum. In Ellen's early life on the Emory campus, I brought my ratty trombone to a few early music rehearsals. I pretended to play sackbut until Jody convinced me that a trombone with paper towels stuffed in the bell was not exactly an elegant Renaissance instrument. With the help of online research, I bought an Agar sackbut replica from Switzerland. I loved its sound, and I did what I could. When you appeared on our scene, I really got interested in Renaissance brass. Guided by your high standards and your wisdom about the need for a better mouthpiece, I've slowly improved. You supported me in many ways, not the least of which was providing me with 2 chairs, one above the other, at each rehearsal. We all need a boost. You fulfilled that role for me. Alas, Austin wins. Wishing you the best, Henry Kahn.
David and Barbara, what can you say? We're just going to miss you so much, and we're going to have to replace you with about 12 people. We hope we can find them. We wish you all the best for your life as grandparents in Austin. Enjoy.
Barbara Stark and David Lawrence, we will miss you. In a few words, I'll summarize my memories of Barbara and David and their impact on my musical life in Georgia. We've played together in the Atlanta Recorders Society, our local Azalea consort, Lauda Musicam of Atlanta, and Midwinter Early Music Workshop, and many other events. They have contributed their manifold talents to the enjoyment of many of us early music lovers. David took on the leadership of the Atlanta Recorders Society and the Atlanta Early Music Alliance, and will be missed as their capable leader and organizer. Barbara has been a member of our Midwinter Planning Committee for many years. She helped us with her great talent of enhancing AIM's website to make registration, planning, communication, faculty, and workshop participants quite manageable and transparent. I have admired her creativity, her technical abilities, her musicianship and dependability, and friendship. When the time came for me to turn over leadership of this AIMA ARS endeavor to someone else, it was Barbara who came to mind. I asked her once, and she accepted without hesitation and ably managed the next 2020 workshop. Of course, we'll also miss David and Barbara's sweet music on their sackbut, lizard, cornetto, and recorders. All will resonate in my memory for a long time. Jorg Voss. David, as president of the Atlanta chapter of the American Recorders Society, did an amazing job. He was unflagging in his enthusiasm, kept everyone informed, and made sure each member, new or old, was made welcome. When the church where we had been meeting disbanded, he found a new venue for us. But what was truly outstanding was his dedication to and organizing of the music he brought for us to play at each of our sessions. For each meeting, David picked out a theme and then scoured the public music sources to find pieces that were appropriate to that theme. He not only downloaded the sheet music to an accessible site, but also printed copies for members to use at meetings. For the pieces that were too long to play from score, he partified them and posted and printed the parts. As a final gesture, he saved all the pieces he had accumulated onto a flash drive and gave the ARS members each a copy, an invaluable trove of over 1,000 pieces of sheet music that we can use in our smaller groups for years to come. Not to be outdone, Barbara, with her almost infallible sense of timing, often directed the group and, when David was unable to attend, brought and handed out the music at our sessions. David and Barbara together kept the Atlanta ARS chapter going and thriving. They leave a huge hole in our musical lives, and will be greatly missed. Thank you, David and Barbara, for all of your hard work on our behalf. Gisela McClellan. Hi, Barbara and David. First of all, thank you so much for being kind and inviting to everyone you encounter, and especially encouraging to people within the early music community here in Atlanta. Getting to establish friendships with genuine and empathetic people like you is something that I adore about our community. Barbara, I think I met you the first time I attended Mountain Collegium about 5 years ago, and I was instantly struck with your kindness and your vast knowledge of early wind instruments that was still completely foreign to me. I'd only played strings at that point, and honestly, I didn't know much about those either. Being involved with AIMA for about a year now has given me the awesome opportunity to learn from you, David, and I can't thank you enough for all of the hard work that you so clearly put into establishing and maintaining excellence in all of these groups that you're in. Thank you both for supporting newcomers like me. It's meant the world to me, and I couldn't imagine trying to establish a foothold in Atlanta without your guidance and without your friendship. Thank you.